Nice. What's up, guys? I am James Hake. This is the Hake Report, and I am back. Isn't that nice? It is 5 minutes till. Thank you to Joel and Nick and Jesse Lee Peterson and all of them. I'm going to give a more proper thank you in a sec. But we are streaming, and it is Sunday, and it is happy quarantine week or whatever. I am back, and hopefully I'm not breathing out any leftover germs into the room for Joel to breathe in. He's not amused. But we are streaming on my channels, YouTube, dlive.tv/The Hake Report, mixer.com/The Hake Report, twitch.tv/The Hake Report, facebook.com/The Hake Report, and so many other places. Periscope, and I think that's it. 6 platforms. That might be too many. I'm also supposedly on TalkStream Live. Hey, Nick, you want to check out TalkStream Live? Make sure that I am on there. You can check out thehakereport.com/show if you want all the links to find the show. It is so cool. I actually have Jesse Lee Peterson's live show player that plays his audio loop on my page, because when he's streaming on it, when I'm streaming from Jesse Lee Peterson's studio, I believe I'm on that player. So even if you went to jlptalk.com, I think that you will hear it if I'm live, I think. And I'll have Nick check that too. So that's cool. Let me just see this. And I am taking your calls. I will be taking your calls in a few minutes. I start early. I like to start early. You guys know this. Those of you who are always here early with me, appreciate it. Hey, Vicky. Nice to see you. I've missed you as well. Appreciate that. I actually have my restream chat going, so I'm going to say, hey, guys, before I say the real hey, guys. And I see that it went to all of you except now it went to Facebook. Cool. So, I am currently live on jlptalk.com, and you click on listen. You can listen through that. Isn't that a nice hack? Appreciate that. That means Joel turned on the right thing. Thank you to Hot Computer Smell and all the mods who helped out. Appreciate that. Thank you. And yeah. Shall I just tell you? I think I'm going to wait until I go live to tell you everything. But, by the way, I am wearing a Knowledge is Poison t-shirt. You cannot get that yet because I am not Donald Trump. I like to wear stuff before it's ready to sell. But I will be putting this out. I will be putting this t-shirt out. And I will explain it come 9 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time. We are in daylight savings time, and I got rested up, and I wonder, so I'm no longer feeling the daylight savings time. How about you, Joel?
Oddly, I'm rested up too.
Oh, nice.
In a weird way.
Right on. Well, Joel's smart because he takes his Sabbath, right? You don't work on Saturdays, generally?
No.
Nice. That's
Sleep
cool.
all the way in.
That is a good thing because you're supposed to take a day off a week. 2 days, that's pushing it. That's union stuff. That is communism stuff, right? 2 days off is too much. Because the unions, I heard, this is something that I heard. If you're just tuning in now, don't sweat it. We haven't really started yet. But I heard that unions are the ones who brought us the so-called weekend. And I think we used to work 6 days a week. But really, now we work 5 days a week officially, right? And you have Saturday and Sunday off, which is kind of nice. I mean, you go to church on Sunday or on Saturday if you're a Seventh-day Adventist and all that. But I don't know if that was a good thing. Maybe there were some good things about unions. I don't know. But anyways, it is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles, so let's get started with the show. James is back. I'm talking about all this mess. I'm going to be talking about the coronavirus. I'll be taking your calls. I'm going to thank Jesse, Joel, and Nick. And I'm also going to talk about the election mess. Looks like, is Joe Biden going to be the nominee? We'll find out.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, welcome, guys. Welcome back. You should be telling me welcome back, right? And I appreciate the welcomes back. Welcomes back. Thank you. So, it is Sunday, March 22nd, 2020. Can you believe it? And it's just after 9 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. Live on all of my channels. Thank you. thehakereport.com/show is how you can see all the links, right? I am wearing my Knowledge is Poison t-shirt. It is not available yet, but other stuff is. teespring.com/stores/thehake And I have bots. I've enabled like these bot chatters to chat on my behalf. If you're in the live chat, you happen to be watching live as opposed to just listening. And it has my information. Lin Yan Chin says, Lord Good Hair has returned. Hath thou bested the plague? Joel, he black. I don't know if I bested it, but I am definitely feeling better. I needed rest. But anyways, I have bots that are sending out links every now and then. The Hake Report, Teespring store, support Bond, which is rebuildingtheman.com. That's Jesse Lee Peterson's nonprofit. It's a good, has a good mission, and it's doing it. And maybe something else, I forget. By the way, very good news, and then I will get to your calls. I saw somebody called in with some interesting feedback. I am now an affiliate on DLive. An affiliate. That means I'm friendly with DLive. Not only am I friendly with them, that also means I offer subscriptions on dlive.tv/The Hake Report. Or if you go to DLive, just search The Hake Report. And it's all one word, The Hake Report. And follow if you don't mind, if you're not already. Thank you. Appreciate it to the nearly 600 people who are already following. That's cool. And subscribe if you like. And if you can spare the lemons as well. If you want to subscribe and you can spare the lemons for me, that's great. Lemons, by the way, are the stand-in for money, basically, right? It's cryptocurrency, and it can turn into real dollars. So that's cool. Appreciate the support. Thank you, guys. So you can subscribe, and then you get a hey next to your name. And it's already, hey, Army Ann. Hey, Reed Johnson. Hey, Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you, guys. Oh, man. So nice. I am back. I got a little sick or something, and then I'll get to calls. And then I'll do some content review and stuff like that. I got like dog tired. Not getting enough sleep. Thank you to Jesse Lee Peterson for filling in for the Hake Report. Thank you to Nicolas Gonzalez and Joel Friday Dominic. JoelFridayTV.com. Right? TheGiftedOfDance.com too. For filling in for me as for Hake News. Really black and brown news. Some of you guys want them to have their own show. And some of you want them to ditch Jesse and me. Forget you guys. But yeah, they did a nice job. They kind of gave me ideas for my Hake News during the breaks. And also, just a side note, we had our first non-Bloomberg advertisement on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, Horman's Best Pickles. You can check that out on my blog post as well as on the Friday show. I think it was the end of the second hour that advertisement ran. That's cool. And it was on my Friday blog post for Hake News. All right? I have blog posts for the Hake News, and I have blog posts for the Hake Report actual show blog. So it's cool. Great work, Joel and Nick, and great work. Good job to Jesse. You filled in some big shoes, right? And thank you guys for all the well wishes and patience. Look at Jesse. You filled in 4 days for me. Dang. And Joel and Nick filled in 3.5 days for me. Basically 4 days. Yeah, I was out. Thank you, Molly. You look great, James. I know. I mean, thank you. So, you know what? Let me get to some callers, or at least one, and then let's keep going. Let me get to Brian out of Chicago, Illinois, and then I'll explain this T-shirt. Don't let me forget. And I will open the treasure chest, assuming Joel and I remember. Brian out of Chicago, Illinois, first-time caller. Thanks for calling. What's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me, Hake?
Yes.
All right, Hake. Hake, I'm calling because I think you're more reasonable than Jesse. So I want to see what you have to say about this. Do you
Not
think
true.
that I don't know? Hello? What did you
I
say?
was just chuckling at your thinking that I'm more reasonable than Jesse. It's not true.
I think you are. 'Cause Jesse's gone off the deep end. Like there's no coming back.
There's no
his
coming
rhetoric
back
is
from
just-
pure common sense, right?
No, his rhetoric is just out of this world. Like,
I know.
Okay, I don't
He's
know
not
if you
of
heard-
this world.
I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you know that you're aware of this or not. But when you were live, well, not you. When Jesse was live on your show, he commented saying, "Oh, don't worry, guys. Hake will be back. He's white.
Right.
White people know how to work." And then he said blacks are lazy and beg for affirmative action. Do you agree with that, Hake?
Generally.
Oh my God! So every white
it's
person,
just it's a
every white person knows how to work. If
No.
that's true, then why do they enslave the whole black population from Africa and enslave them for 200 years if they know how to work? Hake?
that's old news. They were actually better workers probably back then too, to be honest. All races are on the decline a little bit, but I didn't say all.
Amazing.
But
He did say all.
Well, first of all, you didn't say all. He said whites are.
Yes, he did.
He said whites are.
Exactly. That's business thing. Oh.
No, what?
Oh my God.
Say it again.
You know what I think. Hake. I don't think Jesse really thinks like that. I think he just does that to hustle the white folks for their money. Because I really don't believe he believes what he really says. And then the
No,
fact
he
that
definitely
could come
believes
on the
what he
show-
says. But listen, Brian, first of
who in their
all,
right mind will say that America's great mistake was letting women vote? What kind of backwards thinking is that, Hake?
are you kissing up to women now? You simp? Are you a simp?
Oh my! He's saying you want to treat women like second-class citizens and
But
say that they shouldn't be allowed to vote.
They are supposed to be second, though, Brian. Think about it. Like,
What?
why do you
Oh
listen
my
to
God.
Jesse Lee Peterson?
Do you not love your mother, Hake? Is that the problem?
I do. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. But listen, why do you listen to Jesse Lee Peterson? There must be something that you appreciate about him.
Exactly, because Jesse, if he's a puppet, he could say things that other white people on the radio show that they can't say. That's
Yeah, they
that's
can.
why
They
I
can.
don't-
Yes, they can.
No, they can't. If a white person would
I
say
mean,
the things that
sometimes,
Jesse would say,
white people
they
get
would be
less
banned.
leeway from the outside world, but white people should be every bit as bold as Jesse. Don't you agree?
Oh Lord, I mean, yeah, of course they have freedom of speech, but
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you too.
And they should
You two would
exercise
ban
that
them, though.
freedom of speech before they lose it, because they are losing it. And
But-
granted, they will get punished more, maybe, oftentimes.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Right?
Yeah, they'll get punished,
as
but they should say-
with that kind of rhetoric, they
What?
should.
I thought you believed in
Okay.
freedom of speech.
I do believe in freedom of speech.
Then
but
how come
I
they?
also believe in the freedom of
Freedom of punishment?
if you say something wrong. Right.
But they're not.
freedom of punishment.
The whites and Jesse Lee Peterson are not saying anything wrong, man. How come you listen to Jesse
also
again?
said in an interview. What happened? What did you say?
How come you listen to Jesse again?
How come I didn't listen to
No,
Jesse?
why do you listen to Jesse?
Why do I listen?
Yeah.
I listen. I don't listen to him like on a daily basis. I listen to him once in a while because his rhetoric it just amazes me. It's amazing, Hake.
Nice.
To see to see an older black man talk the way he does, that's and talk about his own race like it is. He says most blacks are lazy, they're big. Like, he doesn't believe in black excellence. Even when Kobe died, he was making jokes. He was like, he dead. Like, what kind of thing is that?
But that's not a joke. He is dead.
Oh, but he didn't.
I mean, he made it kind of funny. It's lighthearted.
And then,
because what can you do about it?
And then he proceeded to say, "Did he die with the basketball in his hand?" Like, that was really disrespectful. If Trump was to die, if Trump was to die, do you think he would have made that same joke, Hake?
I don't know.
If Trump was to die?
He's a different person.
Oh,
Trump doesn't think.
Yes, you do.
Well, yeah, most likely not. Most likely not.
Exactly.
Video interrupted.
And then also, the last thing I want to get to, then I'll let you
But
go.
hold on, you didn't really make any good points. Like,
you're not making any good points.
Are you foreign?
Am I foreign?
Yeah.
No, I'm a citizen. I'm African American. If that's what you're asking.
What do you mean by that? Are your ancestors from America?
No, my ancestors are from Africa, but I was born here. I'm a first generation.
Are your parents from Africa?
My parents were born in Africa, but now they're citizens.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I can kind of tell.
Why?
Something about your accent. Something about your accent is proper or something. I'm not sure.
It's not proper?
No, it is proper. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
You don't talk like a normal, like Black American.
Like a normal.
Like the people whose parents were born here in America and their grandparents were born here and they.
Oh, hey, don't say that. Don't say that about them. Come on, man.
No, I like that. I like how they talk too. I like how you talk. I like how they talk. I'm interested in accents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's not a put down.
And the last thing I want to say, and then I'll let you go, Hake.
I'll let you go.
Jesse said in the interview that if he was president, he will kick all the foreigners out.
Yeah.
And if they're like me, citizens, but technically still foreign because of my parents, he said he'll give me a car and let me go. But what do you have to say about that, Hake?
Give you a car and let you go?
Yeah. He said he'll kick me out, but he'll give me a car at least, since I'm a quote unquote citizen.
Oh, I mean that's very generous.
He said that. He's gonna kick me out of the country and give me a car. You say that's generous?
I say it's generous because listen, Brian, are you a liberal?
No, I'm independent.
Okay, that means liberal, honestly, but
how does that mean liberal?
Because for one, you don't even really have the true belief in the freedom of speech. For two, you don't see that Jesse's really about total telling the truth. And for three,
but he's not. He just spreads propaganda and rhetoric against black folks.
You sound educated too. That's like another problem.
I am very educated.
Yeah, that's the shame. Listen, man.
How's that a shame?
Because you're brainwashed into.
I have a master's degree.
Yeah, but
I'm sure
but Satan is your master.
Oh, Satan, my.
Yeah, are you a Christian?
Yeah, you could say I'm Christian.
What do you say?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Okay, that's odd. Why would you say that you could say that you're a Christian?
Because I am a Christian.
No, but you said you could say you're a Christian. That's like being vague. That's talking like a liberal.
How's that being vague? Oh, Lord. I am not a liberal.
I know.
I know
there's certain things you're probably pretty conservative about, or you think you're independent-minded.
Yeah, exactly. I don't agree with abortion.
That's good.
I don't support gay marriage. You know, I'm not like one of those. I just don't like Jesse's rhetoric because he spreads propaganda. You know.
But he's not. He's spreading the truth, man.
Some of the things.
For one, maybe I cut you a little slack because you're like a foreigner, and sometimes you don't get American humor. Because Jesse's just having fun with this.
I grew up in America, man. I understand. I grew up in America my whole life, man.
I know, but like your parents don't have that American humor because they came from Africa. So like when Jesse says James, he's white, and white people work hard. There's truth to it, but it's a joke, and it seemed like you took it seriously.
Well, he didn't say it was a joke though.
But he doesn't see. That's American humor means that you don't have to tell him it's a joke.
Oh,
you know?
What you mean. I see what
yeah.
you mean.
But anyways, like, dang, a lot of people subscribing on D Live. Thank you guys.
A lot of people, what? Oh, they subscribe?
Yeah,
That's good.
subscribing on D Live, that means they're actually like paying lemons to me, so which is cool. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But I mean, Jesse is way more reasonable than me, I would say, because he stays
I doubt that.
he stays in a state
he
of
says the things he does to
reason.
get people mad. That's what he
no.
does.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's you're projecting. Maybe when you turn kind of nasty, you say stuff to get people mad, but that doesn't mean that that's what Jesse's doing. Or do you get mad when Jesse talks? When he says his
No,
stuff?
I don't get mad. That doesn't trigger me. Like, I'm not gonna get mad because somebody says something.
So then how come you're
I
assuming...
think I scared of that.
Good. That's good that you don't get mad. But he's like...
Yeah.
Anyways, man. I gotta go. But I appreciate the call.
Sorry. No, I want to keep talking
Thanks for
to you.
coming
Hey,
in.
Don't go.
Thanks for coming in like a snake and trying to get me on your side. You're way more reasonable. That's probably what the serpent told Eve. You're way more reasonable than Adam. Anyways, man.
All right,
Nice talking with you. Appreciate it. Take care.
I'll call you again. Goodbye.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Let me get to Rick out of Maine. Rick, it's good to hear from you, man.
Hey, hello, how are you? Welcome back.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Hey, I want to make a clarification on this Wuhan virus.
All right.
People, I am getting really tired of people blaming ethnic groups for anything.
Yeah.
Yes, one ethnic group caused the start of this because they were eating bats. Bats were the problem that caused this mess.
We think.
So let's get it. Yeah. Look. So let's get this out of the deck of cards and put the blame where it belongs, because this is causing so much ridiculousness. I can't believe what's going on out here. James, I'm headed out to Wisconsin today.
Right on.
So I don't know what I'm going to run into as far as everything is concerned, because everybody is going bat crap crazy and shutting down restaurants, shutting down establishments, discriminating against people. My God, man, I can't go into a place of business without being treated like a leper. Come on, people. Get your heads out of your backside and get this stuff straight. This is no more than the flu. It's no more than anything else that happens to create havoc in this society. What I'm afraid of is what society is pushing everybody else to do, and that's to go crazy in a grocery store.
Right.
This is crazy.
That's true.
Come
I
on,
don't.
people.
I want to say that it sounds like it's worse than the flu in once a person gets it. It sounds like it's worse than the flu, but a lot of people do survive it. That's nice. But the other thing is, I don't blame the bats. I blame the Chinese authorities who let this get out of hand. And then also the globalist.
Started back in December.
Also the globalist authorities who were kissing up to, all these politically correct. It's not just political correctness, but it's that too. And then this like globalist, socialist trade more important than safety, human lives, and all that mess. I think that people do need to be very cautious. Don't get mad at the people that treat you like a leper. People are scared.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, people are
sure
scared, and just cut them some slack for being scared. They shouldn't be scared.
Yeah,
they should be cautious.
I don't degrade this at all, James.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is a dangerous situation.
Right.
But it's being blown all out of proportion by
sure.
the MSM. It's putting people into a panic.
Yeah.
And we don't need that in this country.
That's true.
I've seen a little bit in the book, in the card deck here. A lot of this stuff is pointing towards the NWO.
Yeah.
If you look at their playbook, there's a lot of those chapters that are coming through.
It's like it's like they want to kill the businesses. These Democrat governors that are shutting stuff down, they're not just about the safety. If they were about safety, they would have dealt with the homelessness crisis. instead of letting
They would have.
cops get sick with typhus or typhoid fever or whatever it is.
They would have dealt with us way back in December when it was discovered.
Right. True. The Democrats would not be Democrats if they were about what's right, you know?
That is true.
Yeah. And
Take care. God bless. My
thank you,
friend.
man. Yeah, thank you.
Have
Good
a
to hear
good
from
one.
you. All right. Take
All
care.
right. Bye.
Yeah, I like how Trump is handling this coronavirus thing. He's serious, but he's not scaremongering. He wants businesses to still get back to business, although he wants them to give him like 15 days or something like that. Cautious. But yeah, you know, let me get to Asmodor out of Texas. He wants to speak on this. Asmodor, it's good to hear from you.
Hey, how are you feeling, James?
I am feeling fine. It's good to be back, for sure.
Yeah, it's good to see you. I was about to start streaming. I have been marathon streaming a lot every day because everybody's stuck at home.
Nice.
And I looked at the clock and I thought, well, no, I'll go check and see. And now there you were. And I said, no, I'll wait.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I wanted to. Well, I'm glad you're back and everything, looking good and all that. I want to touch on a couple of things, like that. Kind of push back against a couple of things that the guy before was saying. I don't think that the response that the government, the various governments, are doing right now is overly broad. I think that they're making some real hard decisions, and I think the fact that we haven't seen a complete nationwide lockdown yet is proof that the Trump administration is watching this stuff real close. They're trying to give people the opportunity to, voluntarily stay at home, don't do unessential things, and hope that they can hold this down until they figure out some way to get a handle on this. But the problem is, everybody complaining about, oh, my God, what's this doing to the economy and everything? Well, they've already shown how this virus is exponentially more communicable than the flu, just that. And let's say, for the sake of argument, which, by the way, this sake of argument is untrue, that this Wuhan, this Chinese flu that the caller didn't want us to say, this Chinese flu that we have going right now is several magnitudes more deadly than regular flu. And it turns out it's affecting young people. In some states, like half of the people who have had to be hospitalized were between the ages of 20-something and 40. Now, and there's also the problem that it may not kill them in the numbers that it kills old people or sick people, but there's a significant percentage of them who end up with significant permanent lung damage where they lose 20 to 30% of their breathing capacity. This is significant. This is the type of thing that, this is like you have an oxygen thing in your nose all the time, and you huff and puff walking up 2 or 3 steps on your porch. But anyway, on the economic side of the thing, if we just let business as usual go on and we don't encourage people to stay home and to close their businesses, and then if they don't voluntarily do so, and you have areas like L.A., Seattle, New York, and the list is just getting longer and longer, where it really starts breaking out, then you have the double problem. You have allowed the disease to start spreading, and now you have to lock things down anyway, and now you have the economic problems on top of the problem that everyone should be worried about way more than the economic thing, and that is, and it's because of small, extremely focused thinking that people are doing on their own interest because, A, they're scared, B, they want to be able to go about their normal life doing what they want to do, so they don't want to look at the big picture of this. New York State is already on the brink of this problem, especially New York City. when you start getting so many people so sick with this, the health system starts to become overwhelmed and it'll buckle. And you'll have the whole hospital full, for legitimate reasons, not saying it shouldn't be, but full of people who are having to be on oxygen, having to be on respirators, having to have very strong antibiotics pumped in their blood. And then there's still the people having heart attacks and strokes and hurting themselves and all this stuff. And the hospital system has ground to a standstill. And on top of that, it's an even bigger problem because you've got all these health workers who are also coming in contact with it, who are getting sick and things like that. So this is a serious thing to worry about. Now, as much as anybody, I hope and I pray that these people who are saying that it's just like the flu and it's just going to happen for a little while, it's going to be over, and the numbers aren't going to be any worse than the flu, I hope and pray they're true. I hope and pray they're right. But I don't believe that to necessarily be the case. And I think what the Trump administration is doing on the question of whether to quarantine people is a good thing. I think that they're watching it day by day. They're having press conferences day by day where we can get all the information that they have.
I've noticed that.
And if people will and they're encouraging people to self-quarantine, they're encouraging non-essential businesses to please, take a break. We're going to have financial aid for you and all this. And that if people refuse to do it, if people keep going around and doing their business or their stuff that's anything other than like going to the grocery store, going to the pharmacy, going to the doctor, anything other than that right now, it's really going to be on them if this stuff gets out and the president is forced to invoke the Staffer Act, I think it is, and declare a nationwide quarantine where they call out all of our law enforcement and all of our National Guard and all the military and enforce quarantine to stop this thing. And,
will that work?
Well, I think it will work better than what we've got going now. The problem is we don't have a cohesive society that looks after itself the way we used to. I don't know if you caught any of the show last night, but I related a story that my grandpa told me. My grandpa, I was like the youngest grandson out of a long line, so he was a really old guy. He was born in the late teens or early 20s. And when he was old and I was a kid, he'd be sitting there watching, and something on Walter Cronkite had talked about, some kind of story about welfare benefits or something, and he would scoff at it and say, you know what, back in my day, if somebody got sick or got hurt, we didn't have the government paying them a bunch of dang welfare. He said all the people in the whole community, all their family, all their neighbors and everything, would go over and we would bring in their crops to make sure they didn't lose financially. And we'd, all of our wives would be cooking food and bringing to them, and we'd milk their cows and all this stuff. And we don't have that kind of a society anymore, and largely due to two reasons, is that we have done all of this multiculturalism experiment, and you just can't overcome multiculturalism and have a cohesive society. And then on top of that, for the past 50 years or so, we've been preaching this cult of the individual. And now, it's important to be an individual, and an individual is an entity with rights. But we have what they call atomized individuals, where they feel like the only interest that matter is their personal interest, and they don't think about how their actions affect their family, their extended family, their community, their state, and their nation. And we need to really, we've got to find a way to build that sense of family and community again, because I believe if we had the type of cohesive, high-trust society that my grandpa was talking about, where all these poor sharecroppers would see to it that when some family caught the Spanish flu or whatever, that they didn't starve and they didn't lose their house and all like this, and their animals were tended to and all. If we had that kind of a high-trust society, I believe we would have all this under control by now.
You know, that's so interesting. Like the government just this government welfare stuff just undermines people's desire to help one another because you
Yeah,
just see them
absolutely.
and then you see like the degradation of people morally. They don't. You're right. They don't care about one another, and they don't even really care for themselves properly. Take care of themselves properly. Prepare. Man, I
Right.
appreciate this, Asmodor. Thank you, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad to call and share that, and I got to say, man, I've mentioned several times on my show for people to be praying for you. I've got. It looks like Hate Farmer and my co-host and his fiance Lamote
Yeah.
most likely had the coronavirus, and
I saw
so
that.
everybody pray for them too, please. But man, it's great to see you, James. I really have been worried that you might have the Chinese virus. I'm glad to see you back on the mic. I've missed you.
Thank you, man. I haven't been coughing or anything like that, so
Oh,
I think
good,
it was
good,
just a
good.
common cold type of thing. But I appreciate it,
thank you.
Asmodor. Thank you, man.
All right. Yeah,
Take care.
man.
Yeah, I listened to Asmodor's stream. He's another host on D Live. Very cool host. He interviewed this guy, Hate Farmer, who's another D Liver, and his fiance, who are exhibiting all the symptoms, seemingly. Like they can barely breathe and all this stuff, they're coughing like crazy. And they've had it for a while, and he doesn't know whether he should go to work or is he going to lose his job and all this stuff. Meanwhile, you have like all these dumb celebrities getting their tests, getting tested on whether they have this coronavirus thing. And they're not exhibiting any symptoms, yet they still get tested. Sometimes they even test positive, but they don't have symptoms. Why are they getting the I thought that there was a shortage of tests. Shouldn't you only be getting, I don't know, it just seems like you should, better safe than sorry, quarantine yourselves, and don't spread your germs even if you think that you're healthy on people. Sorry, Joel. And then just I don't know. Get tested if you're exhibiting the symptoms. Now these guys, Hate Farmer, can't even get tested. I was listening to it. It was crazy. And it is like the liberal government is going to take advantage with these false solutions, this female thinking, where they're taking care of people and then the rest of the people don't have this wherewithal to take care of themselves. So, I don't know. Maybe I had the North Korean virus? Yeah, and I know people who some of them think that they may have had this coronavirus thing back in December. We're in LA, which is an international cosmopolitan city, right? Full of the Chinese and illegal aliens and everything else. And it's all about the hookup with a lot of these foreigners and with a growing number of whites and everybody else, rather than integrity. I'm gonna get back to calls and everything, but let me read through some of these super chats. Welcome back. Wash your hands, boy, says Army Ann. Thank you, Army Ann. Reed Johnson says, welcome back. Great to see you back in action. Nice. Brandon M. Want to be snake, not hay. Oh, we want to be snakes, not hay. That's a nice idea. Over in D Live, I consider the D Live crew to be like supportive. I don't consider them part of the snake pit, though, Brandon M. If you want to be part of the snake pit, that's a nice idea. So he's talking about on D Live, you can subscribe. And thank you to Hawk Computer Smell, Army Ann, I haven't mentioned, Noah's Arkansas, I think, He White, Tex-Mex, all of you guys. It's crazy. So many. Asmodor, of course, and he's been gifting subscriptions too. SZQ, that's my pronunciation. Bomb Jack, Super Dave, all these people. Long John, Nordic Frost, cool. I'm gonna get back to calls, but on D Live you can subscribe and become a hey. So instead of Hot Computer Smell, it's hey Hot Computer Smell. Like I say, hey guys, but maybe I'll turn it into snake. You guys can become snake subscribers. And of course, let me read Lin Yan Chin. Oh, yeah, you mentioned that already. I mentioned it already. And Mario Ubaldo says, welcome back, James, a.k.a. Good Hair. And by the way, we are having church with Jesse Lee Peterson on Sunday. Which is today. But it is not in person. It's going to be live streamed only. So you have to access it through online, where the building is not opening up, right? So let me get to Dave out of Sacramento, California. Dave, what's up? Good to hear from you.
Hey, James, welcome back.
Thank you.
How was your vacay?
It was nice. Restful by force, but it was good.
Well, Joel and Nick did a good job doing the Hake News, but I missed you, man. You do a great job on the Hake News, man. Those reports are good, and
Cool.
They read some stuff. It was kind of cool, but I like how you actually go over the news and then you put in your comments about they're leftist or liberal this or that and what a joke this is or whatever. It's great commentary. But anyways, man, I just want to comment on the what's been going on in here. Being in LA and everything, the lockdown. It's really. I've been watching some InfoWars stuff, and I'm watching Jesse Lee Peterson, of course, all the time. But and watching the news and the media, man, it's like I think the table's going to start turning, man. As soon as this starts going down, the number of cases, which is going to happen because of the quarantine, so we're going to start seeing it go down. It's going to be a last-ditch effort from the deep state trying to get rid of Trump, trying to
seems like it, huh?
Yeah. What do you think about that, man? What do you think about it? It's like I've heard conspiracy theories. I don't know if I totally believe it. Like my brother said, it's probably some way they're trying to take out the homeless or something. I'm like, well, you don't really hear about homeless being affected right now, so it's kind of weird. But what do you think about that, man? And
I don't know. I'm just kind of watching what happens, but we know for a fact that these people do hate Trump. They hate America, honestly. That's why they hate Trump, because Trump loves America. Even with, you can find fault here and there with some of the things that he may say or do occasionally. But generally, I like how he's handling everything. He's manhandling the media, by the way.
Yeah.
They're trying to call him racist for calling it the Chinese flu. And it's ridiculous. They're like a mama coming in, oh, be nice. But meanwhile, they're being nice to the enemies while punishing like the decent people, the innocent people. That's how they operate. It's crazy. But they would by hook or by crook, they're trying to stop or damage or hurt Trump, and by extension, America. I mean, they've been doing that. They hate whites. They hate men. That's why they supported the Me Too movement. They're just, and they hate Christians. And they hate the LGBTQ people, because those people fall for that stuff, and then they encourage them, and they're being wrong. I'm sure that there are some conspiracies that are true and real, but I don't like to speculate about stuff that I don't know for sure. So I don't like to I think a habit that some people fall into is they'll say something is true when they don't know it to be true, when it may or may not be true, Yeah. Because people their imaginations will run away with them, and then they'll state stuff as fact. I've seen them do it like regularly in the years that I've been working for Jesse. They'll say stuff about Jesse that's so not true, but they think that they're convinced in their minds that it's true. And they just have this suspicious minds towards, great song, right, by Elvis. But they'll be suspicious toward their friends, and then they'll trust their enemies oftentimes. So, yeah.
Good point. Yeah, I mean, the Russian hoax didn't work. The impeachment didn't work. And this is actually a last-ditch effort for them that didn't work. But anyways, good to talk with you, man.
Cool, man.
I don't know. Yeah, good to talk with you. Glad you're back, man. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Later.
Take care. Oh, man. Okay, Lin Yan Chin says, not snake, but la 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 for your D-Live, Lord Goodhair. I don't know how I feel about being called Lord Goodhair. But remember to be still and know in order to flow through adversity. Nice. Appreciate that input. That's good advice for everybody. Let me get to, hang on, Robert. I'll get to you next. But first, let me get to Flat Earth Ed. of Oklahoma. No wonder he thinks the Earth is flat. He's from Oklahoma. That's plain. But hey,
Yeah.
how you doing?
All right. How are you doing today?
Doing fine. Stay close to your phone and stay still in a quiet place with good...
Okay, I took it off speaker.
Okay, much better. Go for it.
All right, how you doing today?
Doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing great, tolerable. Yeah, the coronavirus, in my opinion, like, for example, my niece is a nurse in Dallas in the children's care area, in the children's medical section, and she got high fever, pretty much all the symptoms of coronavirus. She called in and explained it all, and they said, yeah, it's probably the flu, and just told her to stay home, don't come up there. They don't even have tests for it. In my opinion, it's basically the flu. And all the tests that they actually do send out, I think some of them are randomly positive anyway, and they're just saying, yeah, you got coronavirus when they actually probably have the flu, because I don't think there's actually a virus. There's a patent on the coronavirus. So if there is a virus, there's an actual patent on it. So it wasn't something that people got from eating bats or any of that other stuff.
Well, man, there's different coronaviruses. So this is one of them. According to what I've read, right? I'm just repeating what I've read. So I don't know this to be true, but what I've read, this is one coronavirus, this COVID-19 that they call it, the Chinese one from Wuhan.
Right.
And then allegedly it's from Wuhan. It sounds like it is. And then, hey, spoiler alert. Just a side note. I just saw somebody in chat. And then SARS was a coronavirus. I think MERS might have been a coronavirus. Those are all coronaviruses. So are you saying all of the coronaviruses are patented, or just this particular one? I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know whether it's naturally occurring from these bats and crazy stuff happening, or if it's made in a lab from these Chinese people, Chinese authorities who are trying to supposedly develop a defense against biological weapons, you know.
Well, in my opinion, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
I was basically just asking that question because I don't know if it's, but I don't think, I think it sounds like it's heavier than the flu, man.
It sounds like it, but that's just, I mean, there's no proof of that, though. They're just saying it sounds like it, but.
No, like, I'm saying it sounds like it because I don't have the proof. But from what I've read, like the numbers, people are dying disproportionately because it's kind of like comparing it to the flu. From what I've heard, just the stuff that I've heard, it's like saying whites commit more crimes than blacks, or whites get more welfare than blacks. But there's much fewer blacks, so of course the flu is gonna. There's more cases of the flu floating around because it's been around forever.
Well, how many people die worldwide from the flu every year?
Huh?
How many people die worldwide from the flu every year?
I don't know, but it's like tens of thousands. Yeah. But that's my point. The flu is widespread. This coronavirus thing is young and still spreading. So we don't know. I
agree, but I mean,
I don't encourage shrugging it off or over hyping it. Because I want people to be able to put out the truth and be clear about this is just what I've heard, you know?
Well, I completely understand that, and that makes sense if you're just, sitting back logically trying to figure it out. But you also have to understand that all these scientists that think they know everything, I don't know if you ever raised puppies or anything or had dogs, but when you give them their 7-in-1 vaccines when they're 4 to 6 weeks or whatever, they also have a coronavirus that they've had for years vaccine for the puppy.
Right.
That's in animals. So
yeah, but they
could have just taken that name and applied it to some other thing that's similar. You know what I'm saying? So who knows?
But the coronavirus is like an umbrella of a bunch of viruses. It's the COVID-19. It's the SARS. It's the there's a bunch of other ones that are decades
old.
That
makes it easier. That just makes it easier for them to just label something else a coronavirus just because it has something slightly similar. You see what I'm saying?
Interesting.
So who knows?
For sure. They hype the climate change stuff in this same way too. Like they do deceive you with facts and language and words. I definitely understand that, but
yeah.
I'm not.
My
I'm very leery of
all.
the governments, of all of the governments. I kind of I basically trust Trump because he exhibits trustworthiness. He like speaks his mind and tells the truth as he sees it and stands by it when he knows he's right. I've seen that about him. But the rest of these guys, he may have good advice, he may get bad advice, but he's trying to.
I'm still on the fence. I'm still on the fence about Trump. It's to be determined, and here's why. It's starting to look like that the Democratic Party is just completely imploding. That's becoming obvious to where it looks like it may even just disappear.
No,
and
man.
if it does, we're going to basically be down to one party here. And if Trump is doing what he says he's doing and all these pedos are being busted behind the scenes by Q, if that's actually going on, God bless them. God praise them. I'll be the first person. I'll knock people down to shake his hand. You know what I'm saying? But my opinion is starting to become like Q might have been put in place to keep white gun owners at bay when all of this stuff is going on because they're mainly the people that would do what?
I'm saying, man, don't get into this type of speculation because just
it's all speculation because we don't know any of it.
But we know reality, and the reality is evil is way more than just the pedophiles. Pedophiles are like, they're like, evil is in you, it's in me, and we have to overcome it. And the evil is in. Sure. You can't just have this low standard of because everybody currently, most people agree that pedophilia, being a pedophile is wrong.
Well, there's another aspect of being president and what the Republican Party has always ran on. Because I'm 49 years old. The Republican Party has always ran on against abortion and against homosexuality.
I know. And now they're losing
sodomite marriage is still legal. Abortion is still legal. I don't care about late term. When you abort a baby at any age, you murdered a child, and there's no way around it. So in my opinion, he needs to overturn abortion, overturn sodomite marriage, or homosexual marriage. Like those are things that are very serious to where God judges nations.
True.
And we're on the chopping block with God right now. So if some of this stuff doesn't get turned around, we're going to be judged.
But evil is even more than the abortion and the same-sex marriage thing. Those are major evils, but you have to deal with all evil. And a lot of the Christians and those of us who are conservative or whatever, we still have evil within, and that's why we can't overcome the evil outside. Anyways, Flat Earth, it's good to hear from you. Flat Earth Ed.
Are you saying all of us? Yeah, I'm the same guy that was in the chat as Kurt Ferguson. I'm still that.
Okay, right on.
I had to get rid of that.
Okay, well, it's good to hear from you. Nice to connect a voice and a message with the username.
All right, man. I know I go off in the chat, but people don't listen. I try to get their attention.
Right on, man.
Don't freak out.
Well, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for calling in. Take care.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Right. Let's see. In 5 minutes, 6 minutes or so, I'm going to open the treasure chest on DLive. Thank you to everybody who's been subscribing. That's super cool. Robert out of Kansas. Robert, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for holding.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I wanted to say to the first caller and to everyone that the religion of the controllers is hurting children, and that's why they gave women rights. It's to get at the kids, to destroy the family, to destroy the children, things like that. So that's the reason women have rights, is that the controllers want to destroy us. So they give women rights, and that ends up destroying the fabric of society through abortion and divorce and everything like that.
Yeah.
And so it ends up destroying children. So that's really the aim of the satanic globalist, right? Because if you think about it, when they asked Jesus, what's the worst thing you could do? And he basically said, hurt kids, destroy innocence. That's the worst thing you can do. And so the religion of the Satanist is hurting kids. Like that literally abusing them, molesting them, killing them, drinking their blood, literally vampires. That's who these people are.
More than just that though. It's the brainwashing of the children, the exposing them to all this mess and taking away the fathers and all that. It's not just the that explicit stuff that you just mentioned, which it's way more than that. That's why Jesse talks about what mothers are doing.
Absolutely. Hey, to the other callers, I want to say that I believe that this COVID, this virus thing or whatever, is an attack on us economically. I think that we were bringing back some of our manufacturing. We were becoming a productive sovereign country again. And if you want a world government, you can't have sovereign nations able to resist the dictates of, let's say, the UN. And so that's really what it is, in my opinion, is world government attacking a resurgent United States that would be able to do things like maybe outlaw abortion or outlaw homosexuality, something like that, and be a leader in the world towards good, as opposed to these Satanists who want to, make everything into, hell on earth, basically. So that's what I think it is. It's economic attack. It's not necessarily like, that's the thing, is it could be this lethal virus, too, going around. I'm not saying that I know what it is, but the main purpose of it is to destroy the United States economically, take down the dollar, and then they'll be able to bring in their United Nations troops and round up all the Christians, all the white people, and everything that they want to do. So that's really what it is. It's literal warfare. And if we have an economic collapse, man, I tell you what, dude, you're in L.A., bro. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. People are going to eat each other. Hey, that's what's going to happen, and literally. And so I hope that people understand the gravity of what we face. It's just so tremendous, and I just hope everyone goes back to work soon and we start our economy back up, because if we don't, brother, the supply chains will shut down and we will starve. And people are going to, it's going to be absolute Armageddon in America, and we'll have half this country die. And so it's that big a deal, man.
They're definitely exploiting the crisis. I don't know if the crisis started because of this purpose, because of this ulterior motive, but they're definitely exploiting it. They're pushing, like, taking away the guns. What does that have to do with protecting people during this time? It doesn't. It has everything to do with taking away their ability to protect themselves. So
well, they don't actually want your guns. What they want is your property. They want your children.
Yeah.
They want your wife if she's pretty. That's what they actually want. They want your property. And so by taking your guns, that's just a means of you not being able to resist that. They don't actually want the guns. The guns are what protect you and your family. So that's really what it is. They want to rape and murder your kids is what they want to do. They just have to get your guns first so that you can't do anything about it.
That's wild, Robert. I appreciate it, man.
These are Satanists. These are Satanists, bro.
You know what? Last question, Robert. What do you think of my shirt?
Oh, yeah, your shirt. Knowledge, hey, listen, man. The problem I think you have is with the deception that we are all under. You're taught deception in school. Okay, school is designed to lie to you, to deliver the doctrine of Lucifer. That's what our school system is. And so when you talk about knowledge, I think what you really mean is that the deception is poison. The deception that we're getting is poison. The truth, the actual God's truth, that is God, really. The truth of whatever, like if you throw good seed among bad ground, it will not grow. That's God's order. God, nature will tell you what is true. You put a man with a man and no life becomes of it. You put a man with a woman and you get new life. These are the truth of God's order. That's what God is. God is truth.
But I'm talking about more than just the education that people get. I'm talking about people gaining true factual knowledge. I'm talking about that stuff too, because that stuff is every bit it's not every bit, but it's another deception as well. Because then you get this knowledge of factual information, and then you think that you know the truth. When you don't know the truth, you're not living the truth. Because a lot of people have the right knowledge, and yet they're not really living it. That's my thing.
They don't have the right knowledge, though. They've been deceived by Satan, okay? We have an entire system of deception. And so it's really, Hake, if you know the truth, you're able to apply love then, right? Because if you don't know the truth, you can't apply love. You might think that love is letting pedophiles have sex with kids. Because
I don't think anybody thinks
right?
that.
Well, no, I mean,
I know you're exaggerating to make a point, but.
Well, yeah, I am. But my point is that if you don't know the truth, God's truth, then you can't apply love.
I know, but you don't listen. A little bit of knowledge is good, but it doesn't take a lot of knowledge. And a lot of whites are getting addicted to knowledge, and they're chasing after facts, and they're repeating and spouting facts. And meanwhile, they don't have real love in their hearts. And
let me give you an example, Hake. Let me give you an example. My mom used to give me sweets like Pop-Tarts and stuff for breakfast, candy, like stuff that I wanted, and she gave it to me because I wanted it. I wanted it, so she thought that was love, giving me things that really are harmful to me because she didn't know the truth. She didn't know God's truth. She was deceived and not intelligent enough, didn't have the knowledge and understanding of what actually is. And so she gave me food that was not good for me as a child, okay?
Typical.
So it's not that she didn't love me. She just didn't know the truth. And so she couldn't apply love in the appropriate way.
I think that she knew.
To know God's truth.
I think that your mother knew that sweets are bad for you.
And
I think that she didn't actually love you.
Because I wanted them.
I think that she didn't actually love you.
Okay, well, maybe that's true, too. Like we talk about women not having love. But my point is that if you don't know the truth, you can't apply love. You can't be, and if you don't have love, if you can't do that.
But listen, you have way more facts than truth.
Well, the truth is whatever is, okay? Now,
no, it's more than that. It's more than that. Jesus said, you believe in Jesus? Jesus said he's the truth.
Oh, Jesus is courage. Jesus.
No,
is courage.
He said he's the truth.
Spirit. Well, the exemplification of what Jesus was courage. He was able to say the truth because he knew it, and he had enough love that the courage, that's what supports courage is love.
All right, fear. Man. It's good to hear from you, man. Talk again.
Brother, hey, have a good one, bro.
All right, you too. A lot of whites are falling for this knowledge stuff, and it's not nutty, I think. There's no getting through to people, though. Hector out of North Dakota. Hector, it's good to hear from you.
Oh, man, it's good to hear from you, man. I'm having a laugh with that guy. That guy went to some show or something.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, Jesus. The guy that was just on, man.
Oh, Robert.
Selling fear. Yeah, Robert's selling fear. He needs to stop looking at porn and maybe start making some babies and stop being a coward and don't come
What
out.
makes you think he's looking at porn? Where did you get that?
Yeah, because he's his whole thing about, the globalists and all this and all that. And I'm like, okay, you know what? There's something to that. I'll listen to it.
Right.
But like I said, if that's the plan, it's backfiring because people are staying home. And I just got done trying to make a baby. So you know what I'm saying?
That part's
it's
good.
Not just me.
Yeah.
Exactly. So him saying that, abortion and all this and all that is just selling fear and well, not selling it because he ain't making no money on it. But I mean, to me, it's pointless sometimes.
I think he's
people like that.
Robert is an interesting person, but he's wrapped up in this knowledge thing, and I think he's making assumptions that aren't true.
Yeah. No, he is, and like I said, look what's happening right now. For example, with this whole thing about us, we need China manufactures everything. So what's that going to do?
Let me just interrupt briefly, because one thing that Robert said that I just want to give an example.
All right.
Is he said that the image of God is the white man. And he says it because, I mean, you look at who's the most under attack, white Christian men. And so I understand, but you don't base, I don't know where he gets it. Haven't been able to pin him down on that one. But
if that's the case,
he's making an assumption based on how the evil people are evil people at top are acting. But he's not. I don't know if he's seeing the evil within himself and the fellow people on the right. So
I honestly, to me, it was a great laugh. That guy was all over the place.
But I mean,
not much respect. He believes what he believes, but
yeah.
But I just don't think it's happening the way he sees it. I think he's caught up in all this fear, and I've always said it.
Drinking
right now,
children's blood. I mean,
yeah. Right now, it's to me.
But anyway,
to me,
go for it.
No. But to me, right now, it's pretty much a test of your soul. You gotta. If you're scared right now, that means you don't believe in God. To me, that's what it means.
That's
like right
true.
now, I'll give you an example. Personal. I just got, the WTI, the barrel. It's like way down right now. We took a dive big time. So out here in the oil field, we're getting laid off, and so you see all these guys getting really scared and whatnot, and then I'm like, I try to tell them, hey, calm down. It's not the end of the world. Let's go out and get another job. And I mean, me personally, I own a truck, and it's just sitting there. So I'm just going to jump on my truck and go work over the road. It's like there's always something there. And for the believers, the ones that really believe that don't even have a plan, but I put all my faith in God. And somehow I'm not trying to brag or anything. I don't know. I mean, it's good grace. Things always work out for me. And I'm not scared one bit.
Are you the one that is automatically a prepper because you live in North Dakota?
Yes, I am.
That's good. So see, like you're already living right, and so you're a little bit more protected because of it. Right on, Hector. It's good to hear from you, man. I gotta go. Take care.
God bless you.
All right.
Bye.
You as well. Noah's Arkansas says 1 more hour. I can't do that even if I wanted to. It's Sunday, man. We got to prep for the church. But I appreciate that. Maybe soon. Asmodor says, I am the way, the truth, and the light. That's from quote from Jesus. Asmodor with a diamond. Asmodor with another diamond. Being smart is good. Being wise is essential, right? Lin Yun Chin, breath sets the tempo of life. Relax into calmness. Nice. Appreciate that, man. And Brandon M says, we want... Oh, yeah. I said that one already. And then, lastly... Lin Yun Chin says not... Oh, yeah, he said that. Willie Palomino says... I saw this one. Hake is back. Nice. Appreciate that. And, of course, let me just read the luckiest followers. Reed Johnson, Army Ann, Asmodor, Hot Computer Smell, and Bomb Jack. Well-deserved, guys. And, of course, real last for Rose this time. Thank you guys for joining on Periscope and Facebook and Mixer and all those Twitch too. But thank you to Asmodor, Army Ann, Tex-Mex, Hot Computer Smell, Lin Yen Chin, Brandon M, He White. He White is his own person, right? Portman, Noah's Arkansas, and Reed Johnson. Thank you guys for all the support. That's cool. What a stream. Okay. We'll see you in church. Rebuildingtheman.com/church. Bond Rebuilding the Man YouTube channel. It's excellent. I wrote up about, we had a Sunday service, and then I wrote up a little bit my reaction to the recent Fallen State episode. I've watched half of it. Make sure you check those out. Take care, guys. Bye.